Bachelors. We have a special guest today, my friend Hillary Hawk. Hi Hillary, how are you?
I'm doing good, hi.
She came to play music for us. So we're going to first talk about food.
All right.
Okay, food and music or food growing up. Why don't you tell me a little story about you growing up and your food?
Well, growing up, food always had to be really simple and quick. My mom was actually a chef in a restaurant, so she never had time or the energy to cook at home when she got home. So I would always have to make something really simple and easy and fast.
I see. So the shoemaker's kids don't have shoes. Well, we talked about this before because I know Hillary, and I just thought about what would I do if I was a restaurant chef and had to cook for my kids at home. What could I do really quickly, maybe in one day, and leave in the refrigerator so that they could make things during the week? So what we're going to do today is we're going to cook a meatloaf and some chicken breast, and then I'm going to show you all the things we can do with it. Okay? So why don't you set up with your band,
all right,
and you'll play for us a little later.
Sounds good.
Okay,
right.
Thank you, Hillary. Okay, so food on the go. What should we do? First thing is, we'll make some hard-boiled eggs, because that's always good. First of all, it's an easy breakfast to take on the run, a hard-boiled egg, or egg salad, or whatever you want to make with it. The important thing about boiling eggs is put the eggs in the pot and the water at the same time. If you boil your water first and then you put cold eggs in it, it's much more liable to crack. So my pan was heating up already. Okay, so that's going to boil. Now we're going to make a meatloaf. You've seen the meatball episode, and it works the same way. We have our herb breadcrumbs, which you can see in the herb breadcrumb video, and we're just going to add, let's say about a handful is what we're doing. Now we're going to add 2 eggs. I have about 1.5 pounds of chopped meat here. That's just what the container came. Now remember, we're cooking this for a whole week. So even though this is cooking for bachelors and cooking for one, this is something that we want to last. So we're not going to cook a tiny meatloaf. We're going to cook a fairly large one. Now there's not much difference between this and meatballs, except we're going to add a little ketchup and mustard to it. We're going to add it both now while we're mixing it and also in the end. So just a little like half a teaspoon Dijon mustard and a little ketchup, just to have that nice tangy flavor. And if you like a little heat, you can put in a little cayenne pepper. Just a little. I'm just going to mix it with your hands. It's the best way to go. And you can also, it'll help you feel the texture, and you'll feel if it's too wet or too dry. And just mix it up. Oh yeah. Isn't it fun to play with food? Okay, this I find is a little bit too wet, that maybe I should have not added 2 eggs, so I'm just going to add a little more breadcrumbs. Now you don't want to have it too much breadcrumbs and eggs. You really want to only have a small percentage of it just to really bind it, because otherwise it's just going to be mushy. Some people use actual bread, but I find that to be mushy. I like meatloaf to be meaty. Okay, mix it up. Now what we're going to do is take our roasting pan, and I line it with foil because these will tend to burn in it, and why have to clean up? You take the whole thing, okay, and just pat it into a large ball, and then you make a loaf. Whatever shape you want. My kids once made this dinner, and they decided that they were going to make some nasty little shapes out of the meatloaf. It was very amusing, but they did a very good job. All right, and now what we're going to do is put ketchup and mustard around the outside. Make a nice little coating for flavor. Yes, you can only imagine what that shape was. Very nice. Okay, just spread it around with a spoon or a knife. And then this is going to go in the oven. My oven's been heating at 350 degrees, and this should go in the oven about this size for about half hour to 45 minutes. I don't cook it like really hard and well done. It will be dry, so you have to really be careful with this. But I say we'll put this in for about a half hour, and I'll let you know exactly how long it took to cook. All right, now we're going to take some chicken breasts, and we're going to use the grill pan. First, what we're going to do is rub them with olive oil and then some seasoning. What I'm going to use is smoked Spanish paprika, which will give it a nice grilled flavor. Let's see how I'm going to do this. Okay. Just spread it around. Pepper. Actually, I have some fresh ground pepper that I ground in my grater this morning, and I'm going to use that. And get some salt. And now you're going to rub it all over. Rub it around, rub it through. You can make the rub in a plate separately and then dip it in, or you can do just what I'm doing, because you don't really need a lot. And this is the kind of thing that will go in anything. You can put it in salads, you can make a chicken salad, you can make sandwiches with it. So here's the grill pan. This is a necessary item in any kitchen. It's nice and hot. It's been heating up. There's a nice sizzle. The oil is what's going to cook, the oil that's on the meat. And that's the best way to use a grill pan. So this is a really great item in a kitchen because it's like indoor grilling, and it cooks very quickly, and it's also a panini pan because it has a cover. So you're going to let that cook, and what you're going to do, just like anything else, when the edges start, changing color, that's when it's time to turn it over. Yeah, well, we are smoking in here. It is oil, and so there is a little smoke, but the panini press on top of it is going to hasten the cooking. It creates more heat, and it also presses it down so it's a little bit thinner. So just a few more minutes on that, and our eggs are almost ready. Hard-boiled eggs usually boil for about 10 minutes. Soft boil, 5 if you want to make them soft boiled. We can make egg salad from that. Hard-boiled egg is a snack or an easy breakfast is a great protein food. Or just put egg on a sandwich. Just put the egg right in the bread and squish it. And I'll show you how to do that. Okay. Wow, that looks great. I have a few of these cooking already. So this is our second batch. And has a nice, look at that, nice grill marks. Just like it came in the barbecue. Now what we're going to do is make panini. So we still have our warm pan, and you can use the same pan. There's no raw meat in there or anything like that. So let's take one. And it's just like you're making a sandwich. I have a ciabatta bread here. And I like to make a dressing that I call aioli. So it's mayonnaise and hot sauce. I always have these like 2 ingredient sauces, right? So mayonnaise and hot sauce. Look at this hot sauce. Death. It must be really hot. It actually came with a little skull keychain. Could you imagine that? So you mix it together. It's almost like Russian dressing color. Okay, so we're going to put a little bit on our bread. And we're going to add some of our chicken. You want to slice it. Let me taste this first. Oh, that's nice. Nice, tasty grill flavor. Add a little Manchego cheese, my favorite cheese. I got this one at a great market in New York, Fairway Market. They have the most beautiful cheeses and meats that you can possibly imagine. Again, remember, everything is online nowadays. So you can get anything you want. Place some tomatoes. And this is so random what I'm doing. I'm just putting what I have. I love tomatoes in all sandwiches. I also have some sauteed onions, which you can see in the sauteed onion videos. It's just olive oil, a little salt, and I'm going to add that to our sandwich as well. Come on, who doesn't like onions on the sandwich? Isn't this delicious? I know everybody cannot wait to eat this. And then what you do for a panini is you brush olive oil on the outside. So I'm going to just put some olive oil in this container, take my pastry brush, and brush it. Go back to the pan. and press. Now I'm making one here because you make one at a time as you like it, or you can fill the pan with it. You get to do different things. I have some avocado, you can put mustard, whatever it is. But this is such an easy thing to do. And if you make this ahead of time, these will stay in the refrigerator for several days. It's still tasting really good. And you do it on both sides, just like you cook anything else. Now let's take our eggs, and I'll show you an easy way to peel them is to run them under cold water. So I'm going to run the cold water and run it into the pan and let it cool off. So it's going to cool down, and it's cooling the pan down, it's cooling the eggs down, everything so that you can handle it. And you crack your egg, and then just peel it under the water. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to take another roll, and this time we're going to add a little mustard and some avocado. And what I'm doing is I'm just slicing it inside against the shell, the peel, and then just pop it out. This is a perfectly ripe avocado. You don't always get them ripe. Now I'm just going to put the egg on, cut it in half. Easier to handle this way. And we'll put a little mayo on as well. And brush it with olive oil. And now let's get our other sandwich out. So, one chicken, and now one egg. Now that egg is just gonna mush right in that sandwich. You don't have to slice it, you don't have to do anything. And there you go. Now, you're getting the hang of this, right? Like, you can do this with just about anything. Put anything you want. And so there's endless food here. We have the eggs, we have the chicken, and we have our meatloaf in the oven. We're cooking all this food for 1 week, and I had this beautiful chicken, so I made some chicken salad. I just cut it up in small pieces. I added celery, scallions, and mayonnaise, and a little bit of salt. But let me taste it. This is so good because we had the rub and we pan-seared it, so it has all the flavors from that, and then I just added a little extra salt, and the freshness of the scallion and the celery just adds to it. I'm going to put that on our sandwich, and then I'm going to make some vinaigrette dressing. You can also get one of these. It's pre-washed lettuces. They come in every kind of variety, whatever you like. Spinach, this is mâché, there's frisée, whatever you can do. And that's easy, it's pre-washed, and you just take a chunk of it, and there's your salad. We're going to make a vinaigrette to go on all the salads, using olive oil, a little bit of balsamic vinegar. This is a fig balsamic, and it's so delicious. It's actually so sweet that I add just a tiny bit. And then some dry mustard, just a little bit. And the mustard acts as an emulsifier, binds it together. Our meatloaf came out of the oven. It was cooked for about an hour, and it's done medium, which is the way I like it. You don't have to cook a meatloaf well done. You can eat it just like you would eat a hamburger, and that will stay in the oven, and you can make any one of these lovely sandwiches. So we basically have an hour in the kitchen for a week's worth of meals. I'm gonna add the dressing to all our little salads. This is the meatloaf. This is our chicken salad sandwich. This is our egg sandwich with avocado and tomato, panini style. This is chicken and sauteed onions, tomatoes, and this is just our chicken breast. So you eat that when it's fresh, and then you have all these options. We have our hard-boiled eggs, and when you have hard-boiled eggs, just mark it with an H to put in your refrigerator so you know which ones are hard-boiled. and you have food on the go. Now let's hear Hillary.
I'm going by highways, I'm going by freight trains. You've been gone for so long. Been gone by cities, been gone by memories. You've been gone for so long. Well, you keep falling down, but when you get up and run, you got your high boots, you're riding back seats. Oh, it seems you keep falling in love. You were so fragile since the breakup. You said I do, you said I'm done. Well, you keep falling down, but when you get up and you're so quiet when you start to give a little piece of your mind. You break out that attitude for a mile or two. Am I the only one? Well, you keep falling down, but when you get up and run, you got a light bulb that's about to fall, and it's coming out the side of your head. I wanna put it out, 'cause it reminds me of all the bad plans you had. Well, you keep falling down, but when you move ahead. Well, you keep falling down, but when you move ahead. I'm going by highway. I'm going by highway.
Wow, that was great, guys. Thank you. Music on the go for Food on the Go. This is Hillary Hawk, Brian Geltner, and Mike Brown, and this is their CD, Goodwill. Thanks for coming on our show.